is a global news update on top Accolade news. The headlines: US Supreme Court allows Trump administration to resume deportations. UK grocery price inflation hits 15-month high. EU and Canada sign security partnership. Israel accuses Iran of ceasefire violation. We'll start with a focus in politics. US Supreme Court allows Trump administration to resume deportation. The United States Supreme Court on Monday ruled 6-3 in favor of the Trump administration, allowing it to resume deporting migrants to countries other than their homeland without providing them a meaningful opportunities to argue the risk they may face. This decision overturned a lower court's order that had temporarily blocked such deportation, citing protections against potential torture or death in third countries. The case involved migrants from multiple nations whom the administration labeled the worst of the worst, many of whom had been sent to a U.S. naval base. The ruling reflects the Trump administration's ongoing hardline immigration policies and was met with dissent from the court's liberal justices, who argued it undermines legal protections of vulnerable migrants. In economy, UK grocery price inflation hits 15-month high. Grocery price inflation in the UK has surged 4.7% for the 4 weeks ending June 15th, marking its highest level since March 2024 and intensifying financial pressure on low-income households. The rise, driven by higher costs in essentials like chocolate, butter, and meat, comes as real disposable income remains below 2021 levels for the lowest earning 40% of Britons. Supermarkets' own labor products saw increased demand as shoppers tried to stretch budgets, while total grocery sales grew 4.1% in value due to warmer weather. Sales volume dropped 0.4% when adjusted for inflation. Moving to international relations, EU and Canada signed security partnership. The European Union and Canada have taken a major step towards deeper defense cooperation with the signing of a new security partnership aimed at reducing Canada's reliance on the United States for military procurement. Announced in Brussels by Canadian Prime Minister Mark Carney and EU leaders, the deal set the stage for Canada to potentially join the EU's €150 billion joint purchase loan pool, Security Action for Europe, under the broader €800 billion Rearm Europe initiative. The partnership focuses on enhancing interoperability, maritime security, and cyber defense, while promoting collaboration on emerging technologies like artificial intelligence. This agreement signals a new era of cooperation amid shifting global dynamics and comes just ahead of the NATO summit, where defense spending targets are expected to be increased. In conflicts, Israel accuses Iran of ceasefire violation. Israeli Defense Minister Israel Katz announced on Tuesday that he ordered the IDF to conduct high-intensity strikes against regime and terror targets in Tehran, following reports of missile launches from Iran, which Israel claims violated the ceasefire agreement. Northern Israel activated missile sirens after detecting the launches, with officials confirming 2 Iranian missiles were intercepted. Meanwhile, Iranian state media denied any missile attack on Israel, calling such reports false. Iran's Supreme National Security Council stated the country has imposed a cessation of war on Israel and its allies, citing recent retaliatory strikes, including an attack on a U.S. base in Qatar. The development comes shortly after Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu agreed to a U.S. brokered ceasefire proposal. You're watching the Global News Update on Top Accolade News. Do stay with us. Still to come. Thanks for staying with us. Still in conflict, United Nations condemns weaponization of food in Gaza. The United Nations Human Rights Office has criticized Israel's aid distribution model in Gaza, calling the weaponization of food a potential war crime. Speaking from Geneva, the spokesperson said more than 410 people have been killed by Israeli fire while trying to access food since the Gaza Humanitarian Foundation began operation in late May. He described the situation as a militarized humanitarian assistance mechanism, forcing civilians to choose between starvation and death. While stressing that only a court can determine legal guilt, the UN says such action may violate international law. Israel denies the allegation, blaming Hamas for civilian harm. Moving to disaster. Wildfires rage for third day on Greek island of Chios. Hundreds of firefighters are battling relentless fire for the third consecutive day on the Greek island of Chios, which has declared a state of emergency as flames sweep through forested and agricultural areas. At least 444 firefighters and 8 aircraft have been deployed, with strong winds complicating efforts to contain the blaze. The fires have forced mass evacuation and now threaten regions critical to the local economy. As Greece faces scorching summer, officials blame climate change for fueling increasingly destructive wildfires and have ramped up resources, deploying a record 18,000 firefighters this season. In entertainment, tourist damages 18th century painting at Uffizi gallery while taking selfie. A historic 18th century portrait of Ferdinando de Medici has been damaged at Florence's Uffizi gallery after a tourist tripped while attempting to take a selfie for social media. The museum said the visitor fell backwards into the artwork while trying to make a meme, prompting immediate police identification and a report of judicial authorities. Though the damage is repairable, museum director Simon Verd warned that stricter rules on visitor behavior may soon follow, citing a growing trend of inappropriate conduct in pursuit of online content. The exhibition Florence in Europe, Art of the 18th Century, is now closed until July 2nd for repairs and will continue as scheduled until late November. Now in sports, PSG advanced to Club World Cup knockouts. PSG booked their spot in the Club World Cup knockout stage with a 2-0 win over host Seattle Sounders, topping Group B. Despite a strong start from Seattle, the MLS side couldn't capitalize, exiting the tournament without a win. PSG now head to Atlanta to face the Group A runner-ups. That concludes our global news updates for today. Stay tuned for more global news and developments. Thanks for joining us. I'm Ojarumi Okocha. Connect and engage with us on all our social media handles. Do have a wonderful day.